Welcome to the 23rd Annual Death Valley Open Water Swim Meet and South Carolina Swimming Open Water Championships Technical Meeting.
Contact information for meet key personnel, including the meet referee, meet director, and safety officer, are listed on the slide. Feel free to contact any of us with questions relating to the upcoming swim meet. The timeline for the start of the 5K is as follows. Check-in opens at 6:30 a.m. There is a required pre-race meeting at 7:30 a.m. The location of this meeting will be announced on race day. The 5K will start in 5 waves at 5-minute intervals, with the first wave going off at 8 a.m. for the 15 to 18-year-old boys, the second wave at 8:05 for the 15 to 18-year-old girls, the third wave at 8:10 for the 13 and 14-year-old boys, the fourth wave at 8:15 for the 13 and 14-year-old girls, and finally the fifth wave at 8:20, which will be the open men and women competition.
The timeline for the start of the 3K is as follows. Check-in opens at 8 a.m. There will be a required pre-race meeting at 9:45 a.m. We will start in 3 waves. Open boys and men, wave 1 will begin at 10:15 a.m. Open girls and women's, wave 2 will begin at 10:20 a.m. And 11-12 boys and girls, wave 3 will begin at 10:25 a.m.
Similarly, the 1K has a check-in time at 10:30 a.m. There's the pre-race meeting at 11:15 a.m. and the 1K is planned to start as 3 waves. The first wave going off at 11:45, which is the open boys men, followed at 11:50 by the open girls women, and at 11:55 the 10 and under boys and girls will go off.
The timeline for the start of the 500 meter or half K check-in opens at 10:30 a.m. There's a required pre-race meeting at 11:15 a.m. and we will start in 3 waves. Wave 1 at 12:30 p.m., Wave 2 at 12:35 p.m., and Wave 3 at 12:40 p.m. Wave 1 will be the Anna C. Sams 9.5K finale. Wave 2 is the open boys and men's, and Wave 3 is the open girls and women's. For the second year in a row, we are allowing wave change requests. We will have a wave change request form located at the clerk of course table for individual swimmers who want to wave change for a particular reason, either to swim with their sibling or support a younger swimmer. Wave changes will be approved on a case-by-case basis. Wave change requests can be made for any of the 4 events, 5K, 3K, 1K, and half K. Wave change requests must be made and approved prior to all pre-race meetings and should be handled in the same manner of adding swim events.
When you arrive at the venue on race day, there will be volunteers and signs indicating where you should park. Please follow all directions by parking personnel and posted signs where there's no parking so that no one needs to be towed. Once you reach or parked and reach the clerk of course, please follow the posted signs for you to receive your race card and cap. Just to note that this year t-shirts are not included with registration. Also, new for this year, there is no day of registration, so if you're not already entered in the meet, you will not be swimming this year. Swimmers already entered in the meet may be able to add events on the race day. You'll need to see the clerk of course if you would like to add an event on the day of the meet. Next, you'll proceed to the body numbering station. Body numbers should be applied vertically down each arm, horizontally across the back of each shoulder. Lettering should be bold letters approximately 3 inches tall so that they are easily read from 20 to 30 feet. Please do not apply sunscreen prior to receiving your body number. If you do, you need to remove the sunscreen first with some rubbing alcohol and then apply your body number. Please avoid use of sprayed sunscreens on the body number area as they tend to make the numbers run and not be legible. If you have an illegible number, you will be sent back for renumbering. Finally, finger and toenails should be neatly trimmed. There should be no sharp finger or toenails, and jewelry is not permitted to be worn during the race.
The expected weather will be mostly sunny with the expected morning low of 64 degrees Fahrenheit, an expected daytime high of 87 degrees Fahrenheit, and the expected water temperature of around 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Please note to check the weather for Clemson, South Carolina throughout the week of the meet. This forecast is from Friday, May 26, 2017, which is 2 weeks out from the Open Water Championship. Be sure to double check the weather.
The course is similar to what it's been in previous years, with a dog leg left for the 5K and the 3K in an out and back format. Please note the addition of a required left turn at the 1,000-meter buoy heading out on the 3K and the 5K. Here's an image of the course map. As you can see over here is the start and finish. For all races, they'll proceed out on the shore side of the buoys. For the 5K and the 3K, swimmers will have to navigate a left-hand turn by passing to the right of this inside buoy at the 1,000-meter mark, and then continue on the shore side until either the turn at the 2,500 for the 5K or the 1,500 for the 3K, and then return on the channel portion, doing a right-hand turn on the outer portion of this outer buoy at the 1,000-meter mark, continuing on into the finish chute and through the finish gate. For the 1K and half K races, again, start here in either one right-hand turn at the 500 or a right-hand turn at the 250, proceeding back in to the finish chute and gate. Safety boats are positioned along both sides of the course, and then motor safety boats are positioned just outside the course. Officials will be traveling within the course perimeter, monitoring the swimmers during the race. All races will use an in-water start. Each wave will be admitted to the beach by the start a few minutes prior to the scheduled start of each race or each wave. You'll need to turn in your race card to get access to the start beach. You'll be directed to get into the water and position yourselves behind an imaginary line that extends from the edge of the dock to the start buoy. The starter and referee will direct you so that everyone gets behind the buoy in a expeditious time. The starter will then raise a flag, which is a get ready signal. At the drop of the flag and the sound of the air horn will signal the start of each wave. When you finish the race, you will need to swim through the marked finish gate. When you do that, you will have finished the race. Please proceed through the gate. Don't stop under the gate, and proceed orderly toward the beach. There will be finish judges, and they will be giving commands to help you stay in order of finish until your place is accurately recorded by the finish judge. At that time, you will have your entry card returned to you. This is very important, not only if you're swimming multiple events so that you can have access to the start of your next event, but also as a way to make sure that all swimmers who entered the water come out. Finally, after all that, you can go and proceed to athlete hospitality for post-race nourishment. USA swimming rules for open water swimming will be used for all races. There are two types of infractions in open water swimming. One results in a yellow flag. Swimmers shall receive a yellow flag for gaining an unfair advantage at the start. For receiving aid from a non-competing person in the form of pacing. This may be pacing using safety craft. Swimmers would receive a yellow flag for this. There are two rules which are not applicable to this meet, as they are for escorted swims. This is an unescorted swim. Finally, a yellow flag can be received for intentional contact or any contact with another swimmer that causes interference. And so please try to give each other adequate room during the race. More serious violations will be the subject of red flags. Swimmers who receive a red flag will be immediately retired from the race. You may receive a red flag by accumulating 2 yellow flag infractions. In this case, the second infraction will result in a red flag. Failing to swim or complete the prescribed course, or swimmers who do not finish the course within the time limit, which is 2.5 hours for the 5K, 1 3/4 hours for the 3K, will be retired from the race. Due to timeline constraints, swimmers will not be allowed to swim outside the time limit to complete the course. If you receive any assistance by pulling on cables, markers, buoys, or buoy lines, that's also a potential red flag violation, or receiving propulsive aid from anyone in boats of any kind. Other infractions that will receive a red flag during the competition come from receiving support from any fixed or floating object. For example, a safety craft. While these safety craft will have water and sports drink, do not grab onto the boat while receiving your drink, nor any other floating object. Finally, any unsporting conduct. Intentionally striking a swimmer will result in a red flag and being removed from the race. A swimmer may withdraw from a race at any time for any reason. All you need to do is signal a safety craft, either a kayak or a motorboat, by waving your hand or some way to get their attention. When the boat approaches, please indicate that you would like to retire from the race. They will signal a safety craft who will come and pick you up and return you to the beach. All swimmers who withdraw from a race will be taken to the medical station before being released back at the venue. While not expected, should any event lead to abandonment of the race, this will be indicated by 5 short blasts on the air horn, followed by 1 long blast, and this will be repeated. For swimmers who are far from the beach, safety craft may use a whistle to indicate the same signal, 5 short blasts followed by 1 long blast, and that will be repeated. Should this signal be given, all swimmers should immediately swim for shore and follow the route indicated on the course map that I'll show you in just a minute, for safety, and then to check in with meet personnel so that all swimmers can be accounted for. We have made a slight modification to the safety plan for abandonment, and that is in the 5K and 3K. If swimmers are swimming past the water treatment plant, which is located right here at the end of the dike, if you are in this region out here, and when you swim to shore, instead of hiking back to the beach, please go to the pavilion located at the Madron Center, which is right here. The Madron Center is right. And meet personnel will come over, check you in, and provide transportation back to the beach. If you are swimming in this area, you should swim to shore and then proceed along the dike back to the clerk of course to check in.
This concludes our 2017 Death Valley Open Water Meet and State Championships technical briefing. If you have any questions, feel free to email our meet referee, QT Taylor, or one of our meet directors, Eric Muth or Mary Beth Kurz, and they will return your email as quickly as they can. Thank you, and good luck.